Chanda, welcome and good evening to you.
Thank you and good evening to all the viewers.
How have you been and how is the party so far? Let's begin from there.
Well, I'm okay and the party is very well.
All right.
We are growing day by day.
Right.
Yes. We are surviving in this terrain and we are doing what we could. We recently had a general conference on the 18th of November,
right,
where I was re-elected as president. The mandate to run New Congress Party for the next 5 years, right, up to November 18th, 2030. And we are participating in the Chawama by-elections. And yesterday, our candidate successfully filed in nomination. We are written to the police to do a mobilization rally in Lusaka, to which we are, I think, expecting the permit that is from Chinga ground. So we are busy trying to do what we can. Our focus is to provide leadership to the country. The country at the moment is in dire need of political direction, and we are there to do that. The only thing that I can be able to say that in this time and era, I think the only thing that makes us sad that we have a hyper level of political environment in the country, and yet we have a situation where for the first time in the world we have a gallant soldier, a son of the soil, in the name of my mentor, Edgar Chagwarungu, who is not yet buried. And I want to state that it makes me sad, but at the same time, in Bemba they say, we have a duty to fight for this country's democracy. So my focus is the country and to provide that leadership that the Zambian people desire at the moment. My goal is to have objective political discourse, political engagements, where we narrow down to ensure that come 2026 we provide and create a better change for the Zambian people.
Interesting. Let's begin from the convention you had recently where you were re-elected or you went as unopposed. You as President Peter Chanda. The question is, why should you go unopposed? Is your party not attractive? How many are you in your political party? Let's begin from there.
Well, the convention attracted 500 delegates from across the country in conformity with the electoral college system of the New Congress Party. We held it in Ndola. So that should be able to tell you. If we held it in Lusaka, you'll be able to say, the party is established. The party has been established from 2003. This party was.
But of course, in Ndola, you can go and hire, a hall somewhere and ferry people. You can go and assemble. So you can't convince the viewers out here to say because it was held in Ndola and it was highly participated or attended to, because it's easier for you to ferry members.
Let me finish.
I can go and broadcast from KBN TV.
Yes, but I'm just telling you this. We held our general conference in Ndola. The last general conference, we held it in Lusaka. I was elected president of New Congress Party in 2021. If you may be able to remember very well, I went round
the event.
I went round the country. So you cannot doubt IP, you can't doubt the membership of NCP. We went round the country to do provincial conferences, which I think some of them were part of that entourage. We did a general conference on the 9th of May, where I was elected. The announcement for the general conference was made public. I used to say that immediately when we decided to pull out of Tonse, I stated to say our first goal and mandate is to do a general conference so that my leadership mandate is renewed, the leadership mandate of the National Executive Committee is renewed. So when that announcement is done, you expect members of New Congress Party to float themselves and say, I want to stand for president and challenge. So I went unopposed because I was at 18 hours, 17th November, there was only one nomination, and that was my nomination. And when the national chairman, Mr. Joseph Zuze Sambambi, dissolved the National Executive Committee, an election was called. Even within the context of that, nobody stood up to challenge. So I can be able to sufficiently answer you that NCP is very democratic, but people still have confidence in my leadership. So when you go and oppose, it is a sign that you have provided good leadership. You have raised the party from where it was to where it is now.
Does it worry you when you sit back as NCP president that in 2020 you went unopposed at a convention held here in Lusaka at Mulungushi?
It was at the
government complex.
Government complex.
Again, come fast forward, 4 years later, you've been elected as unopposed again. Does it worry you that perhaps maybe your party is not attractive?
The party, New Congress Party, is very attractive. It is a demonstration of people's confidence in my leadership. And that is the NCP members. So it shouldn't worry me. Secondly, you can be able to attest that there are several political parties in the country. And recently, when we did our general conference, a week later, another political party did a general conference in the Copper Belt. And the president of that particular political party went unopposed. You can have examples.
There's so many examples, actually. It's not examples. Only you alone,
yes.
But it's all of you, all inclusively. I can name them, but I wouldn't want to name them because they're not here. But the fact remains that most of these political parties, you find that someone will just wake up and say he's been re-elected as unopposed. Don't you think that those are tendencies of being undemocratic within your internal political parties?
But the fact,
because I'll tell you one thing,
fact that we go to a general conference.
The position I am holding today as a moderator, if we are going to call for applications, there could be even more than 50 applications who are going to sit here. IP will not go unopposed to defend his position as a moderator or the position he holds at KBN TV. But this only happens within your political parties, where dramatically things just happen and someone goes unopposed. And yet this political party has got more than maybe 5,000 members or 100 people plus.
Let me tell you, being a president of a political party is not a small thing.
Right.
It demands a lot. It takes the whole lot.
Being a president of a small political party.
Not a small political party.
Okay.
A New Congress Party is not a small political party or any other political party.
I'm quoting your words.
I'm saying being a president of a political party is not a small thing. That's what I'm saying. It's not a simple thing that one would wake up and want to be president. It takes the whole lot. The responsibility, the democracy that we have in the country at the moment, the general membership of the party across the country, if you have a political party, the general membership looks up to the president. It's different from the way it was in the past. You understand? From the way it was in the past time, during the time of Chiluba, the MMD. But I think after Chiluba came into office, the scenario changed. Instead of people supporting the party, sometimes it has to be the president to mobilize resources to support the party. So when you see a president goes unopposed, it means the general membership of that political party still know to say, look, we still need his leadership to steer the party to the next level. And I strongly believe consistency in terms of policy is key. If we can be able to say the internal democracy, I don't think the current government, the president could have been president. But consistently, people believed. So you cannot accuse NCP of being undemocratic when people believe. Because even by virtue of going unopposed, you go to a general conference. When you announce to say we shall be holding a general conference as a political party, that is a political will enough to invite others. If others stepped up at the point when you announced to say, no, I want to stand as president. You understand? It's a different scenario. Look at another political party, we cannot talk about it. One young man stood up and said, I want to stand for presidents at the next general conference. What happened? You understand? So what I want to state is that NCP is very democratic, and the fact that we went to a general conference,
and something I know,
you are supposed to say congratulations for you for being elected.
We shall get Mr. President, worry not. But also one thing I know about political and the business in politics, that there are so many or a lot of machinations which happens in the background. When you are the sole president of a political party, in the background, it's a lot of things happened. Let's just usher me in. Those things happen. We can't hide those things.
No, we're very democratic.
Right. Let's get into your position as NCP. The last time I hosted you on my program here, you were in the Tonse Alliance. ECL identified you. You call the late ECL as your mentor. He mentored you, and he identified you and your political party. When the Patriotic Front began their internal fights, ECL decided to bring you closer and adopted your political party and announced to the general public that we shall go with the NCP as a special purpose vehicle. When I hosted you on this program, you did mention that you had no intentions to move away from or betray ECL's legacy. Don't you think, as you sit this evening, you are basically a betrayer and a sellout of ECL's legacy, in that today, before actually your late mentor's body is buried, you've jumped out of the Tonse Alliance? Why have you betrayed ECL's legacy?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, I would like to state that I stand to defend ECL's legacy. My decision to pull out of Tonse, it is on the aspect of defending ECL's legacy and standing up for what he stood for. On the 26th of September, there was a resolution that was made by Tonse Alliance, a faction, because Tonse Alliance had already entered into a faction. And if you follow the sequences of events, there's a track record within the media fraternity, and I'm sure you as KBN, you might have sent. I called the press conference first, and called on the PF and Tonse Alliance to put their house in order. So, I'm consistent with what I do. I'm a person that doesn't believe in betrayal, because I've been betrayed several times. And I'll explain the betrayals that I've suffered. Please. So, I hate betrayers, and I can never be a betrayer. On the 26th of September, there was a circular that was, by then, Comrade Raphael Nakachinda was still Secretary General of the PF and Tonse Alliance. Now, when Tonse Alliance was formed, for the purpose of those, because I haven't been on KBN, I think, from the time when those, so for the purposes of those who are behind and who follow KBN and the like, let me put these facts on record. When ECL died, we had the challenge, we had the Dr. Daniel Pule, who was vice chair. He was out of the country. Now, before even ECL died, conflicts, by virtue of him being absent, because he left this country in April, by virtue of him being outside the country, the Tonse Alliance leaders, and Dr. Danpule was not around, we could not conduct businesses, the business of meeting and all those. So council of leaders and other leaders began to take, like those that were that are in leadership, because only 3 positions of leadership were announced, and that is the 4. I can say 4. The presidential candidate was ECL, was also chairman. The vice chair was Dr. Daniel Pule. The spokesperson, who is my brother Sean Tembo, and the Secretary General of Tonse, who is the Honorable Rafa Nakachinda. Now, I'll take you back. The fourth resolution of Tonse Alliance on the 18th, on the 18th or 19th, on the 19th of November 2024, announced to the public on a circular that was published by Comrade Sean Tembo himself that Tonse Alliance resolved that NCP shall be a special purpose vehicle upon which we shall be able to field candidates. And that message couched even on the fourth resolution of the Tonse Alliance Council, the fourth Council of Leaders meeting chaired by His Excellency. That was the message. The former president, or the 60th president of the Republic of Zambia, Dr. Edgar Chagonu, resolved the following: that NCP shall be a special purpose vehicle for the by-elections, both now and for 2026.
Correct.
That resolution was made. We come fast forward, April, whilst the ECL was about to go out of the country, Comrade Zumani came to me and told me, ECL recommended that you appoint these 6 people to start the blending of the leadership of Tonse. Right. And he gave me 6 names. Right. I'm not going to mention them. So I began.
You have to mention them because we need to have a realistic conversation here.
So amongst the 6 names were Debbie Angola, who I appointed chairperson for legal, Celestine Mukandila, who I appointed deputy chairperson for legal, Medla Mtonga, who I appointed vice president for corporate and international relations, Mr. Chomba, former PS David Shamlenge, and another lawyer, Caesar, who was appointed chair elections, Caesar Simkonda. So these 6 people, I wrote even letters of appointment because the NCP constitution mandates the president to make those appointments. So we started moving. Debbie Angola was so instrumental. Even the symbol that we changed now to the chair that we have, Debbie Angola was tasked by His Excellency. But little did they know that 2 weeks after the late president went into South Africa, he called me and told me we were supposed to do a general conference, an extraordinary general conference for NCP, where ECL was supposed to be elected, and that was supposed to be on the 12th of April. Right. And I was ready to hand over the president to ECL. Because I believed in ECL, ECL believed in me. We agreed. Because if you remember very well, when I moved out from UCA, in fact, what we are supposed to have is not the Tonse Alliance. We are supposed to have the NCP-PF Alliance. It was Comrade Zumani who went to ECL and said, look, before Chanda announces the NCP Tonse Alliance, because ECL was being disrespected. Now I'm coming to the context of what we believed, what we stood on. ECL was being disrespected in UCA. And I said, I can't take it. No wonder you saw I was the first person to announce that I have resigned from UCA and I've joined Tonse Alliance.
Disrespected by who in UCA?
You remember Madam Savoy's statements and all those. You remember the tag of all that was there where the PF inside, was. So
for me, I was part.
I'm just telling you. You remember those times. You remember that even there in UCA, ECL had no position. He was just like a member sitting. Right. We had Sakwachkot as chairman. But for us in Tonse, we gave him that due respect and made sure that when he came, and what we're trying to cure from there was disrespecting of PF as a political party. Now, I want all the members of Patriotic Front to understand my heart. Tonse was formed on the premise of respecting ECL and respecting the political party that he belongs to, and that's the PF. It is no wonder that after Tonse was created, before even being launched, President Sean Tembo was among those people that said, we are not going to launch Tonse until PF comes and joins. Now, PF came to join Tonse with the 14 rules of engagement, among which we stated to say the secretariat of Tonse Alliance shall be hosted by the PF, among which we resolved to say Tonse Alliance shall be the PF shall be the anchor party of Tonse Alliance. The chairman shall come from PF, who should also be presidential candidate. Now, when ECL left, and Dr. Danpule also left the country for medical treatment in India, we had now a situation where the spokesperson, you understand, the spokesperson began to usurp certain powers. One time, Honorable Given Lubinda and Honorable Rafona Kachanda went to attend a meeting of other opposition political parties that were calling themselves United Opposition Front. Comrade Sean Tembo issued letters of suspension, suspending Marubinda and suspending the authority which he didn't have.
Right.
That is where now the problem began from. President Lubinda, acting President Lubinda, was being disrespected until ECL himself wrote on his page to say, I have appointed Given Lubinda to act and to continue conducting the business of Tonse on my behalf. My two brothers your brothers from the East did not accept that.
Who are those two brothers?
That was Comrade Zumani and President Sean Tembo.
Right.
Lubinda was not being respected. The wrangle, the issue between them continued. I went to President Lubinda, reach out to Comrade Zuman and reach out to Honorable Ngambi can be my witness. Reach out to Comrade Sean Tembo. Otherwise, the situation will escalate to the levels where we failed to contain it. So it was until in September when whatever the fears that I had now erupted. A secular, whilst the Honorable Rafana Kachinda was there, because even Honorable Rafana Kachinda was being disrespected. Whilst the Honorable Nakachinda was there, who was Tonse Secretary General, and all seculars for any meeting should be issued by him. But now here, a secular was produced by Comrade Zumani on the 26th of September to say we will be having a Tonse Council of Leaders meeting. And the resolution of this Tonse Council of Leaders meeting, it's just that I've left my phone. I could have shown you or sent you. I've just left my phone in the car. The resolution of the agenda of this meeting will be to choose a special purpose vehicle to elect a chairman. Now, this is after the demise of ECL. When I saw that circular and to discuss the General Congress, to discuss, to choose a chairman and to discuss a General Congress that will be able to elect a presidential candidate. Those are the issues that we are supposed to discuss on that, what they called the 14th Council of Leaders meeting. And that circular was issued by Zumani, who even appointed himself as a coordinator, national coordinator for the Tonse Alliance. When we had stated to say there shall be no national coordinator, Comrade Zumani was considered to be the spokesperson or the advisor to the late president. That I went to Honorable Rafana Kachinda and Honorable Lubinda. I said, look, see now, we have this confusion. But before I could go to talk to Honorable Lubinda and Honorable Rafana Kachinda, I called Comrade Zumani on the same day. I said, Comrade, what is this? Why are we discussing about the special purpose vehicle? You are aware, and I even produced and sent even on the block, and people were attacking. No, this will not save you. We cannot have you as a addition. Don't think that it's permanent for you to be whatever. And Comrade Zumani, whether he lied or said the truth, but for me, I can tell you, 4 days before ECL died, whilst we had a by-election in Rumez, he spoke to me. He spoke. I even gave the phone to the candidate, Goodson Banda. You can even call him here. We spoke with the ECL, and he was happy with the fact that we have changed the symbol. Now we have Pampando. And he said, you see what? I'm celebrating because now the party that I've chosen has got the chair as a symbol. We laughed. He said, because even our symbol, Mumpando. We laughed, and he told us, please continue to foster unity. Now I can tell you, when that circular came out, I called Comrade Zuman and I said, what is this now? You want to discuss the issue of a special purpose vehicle, and you want me to come and attend a meeting where you want to deliberate on the special purpose vehicle. Then he told me, no, ECL changed that before he died. And the fact that you are chosen as a special purpose vehicle doesn't mean that it is permanent, that you should be the only one. We have other political parties that have challenged to be a special purpose vehicle, which included FDD. And today, I'm vindicated with the fact. I have been fighting battles with some members of Central Committee from PF and some members of Parliament who never liked and who never wanted the NCP as a special purpose vehicle. In Kawambwa, there was a fight. In Pambashe, they made sure that they pushed NCP away and put at the same time when you put Petauke. In Petauke, it was Honorable Frank Ngambi who refused the numerous calls, and the president himself who was calling every now and then, make sure that you put NCP. They brought accusation, no, the issue of Secretary General and others, and I sent them all the documents in the night. It was a battle to even field a candidate on NCP in Petauke. So, I was being humiliated in Tonzi. I was being looked down upon. And I'm happy today, at least we are in a country. That's why I decided to come. I would go to any meeting. I was not fronting myself in any way. I allowed them to use NCP in whichever way they wanted. I never questioned wherever they were sourcing money to do whatever and everything. Whatever, I was content with the fact that NCP is a special purpose vehicle. So now, fast forward. Yeah. After that conversation with Izuman, he said, no, ECL changed that even before he died and all those. I called ECL's close ally, who is still standing with him there. I'll not mention his name. And he told me, the boss never said that. Me, I spoke to the ECL 4 days before. He was happy with whatever. And he said, I'm happy that you have done whatever. Because before he left, he gave me strong warning. On that particular day before he left, Murida meeting, the last meeting that we had with ECL, which was the 13th Council of Leaders meeting, I was being admonished, and he told me, make sure that everything that you have to do, all the records that I want you to put straight, put them straight. Make sure that the symbol issue is addressed. And he was happy 4 days before he died that the symbol issue was addressed. Now, fast forward, 27th October. But after that, they wanted to do the meeting, and I went to convince Honorable Ruvinda, let's go to that meeting which was disrupted. After that, they continued to disrespect Honorable Ruvinda.
So
and I did now
Honorable Ruvinda to go and attend.
To say, let's go and attend the meeting. We went to attend, but the youths from PF said, no, this is nonsense, because how can Rafa Nakachinda is there? He's the one who is supposed to call the meeting. What is this nonsense where we have now a two faction of Tonzi Alliance?
Who sent those youths? They were coming from which camp? From which side?
Of course, those were PF youths.
Yes,
of
they are
course.
PF.
And when they came there, of course, they came in peace. They said, you, the leaders, are confusing us, because the tension was too much in between.
Of course, everybody knows that those are PF.
Everybody does.
Those are PF
yes,
but
yes.
From which faction?
There was nothing like from which faction. You understand? The PF youths just came and they admonish. In fact, you understand? First, you sit down and have one tones. Because already now, there's a division. A division and the crack was already. There were other kinds of leaders. Those that were found seated already at Ishon Tembo's house. When they could not recognize Lubinda as chairman. You understand? Right. They could not recognize Lubinda as chairman. Now, for me, the rules of engagement.
Just hold on. So, when you see cadres coming to disrupt a meeting, which has been called organized by the senior party members or the party front or the Tonse Alliance at your level, then if these mayor cadres comes to disrupt your meeting, they disperse all of you. What do you pick from there?
No, let me tell you.
The testimony that really
the
party front and the Tonse Alliance, all that grouping is a violent.
No, look at this. Let me tell you. The youths were even in order because let me tell you, the meeting was called to be that it is going to be at Palm Valley, but instead, it was taken to Sean Tembo's house. So that is what. We all went to say, okay, we are meeting at a neutral place. You remember the standoff that was there. Comrade Sean Tembo could not attend the meeting to come to the secretariat. And he never attended any meeting that was held at the secretariat to say it's not a neutral place. And yet, the Tonse Alliance rules of, the rules of engagement that PF gave us is that PF shall provide, the secretariat of Tonse Alliance shall be hosted by the anchor party. Right. So, I made the first decision to take a back step because the issue of them choosing a special purpose vehicle was on the top of the agenda. So I made a decision to take a back step first to say, okay, let me allow you to deliberate. And when I was taking a back step, I had even conferred with both Honorable Rafa Onagachinda and the Honorable Given Lubinda. I said, I'm taking a back step because it is too much that these people, they want to choose another special purpose vehicle. And for me, I will not sit down and see what ECL, because my statement was, you are shutting down the decision, the fourth meeting that we had, chaired by ECL. Then you put it in the carpet and you decide to say you want to choose your own special purpose. So do your own deliberation to do whatever. Fast forward, within the period, when I said put your house in order, and I remember Tonse put your house in order. Now let me tell you, there were two factions of Tonse here. President KBF, Dr. Daniel Pule, Sean Tembo, and these others, they were on the other side. Now the Zambian people have forgotten all this. Then if with others, now when I realized that I'm getting so much attacks from these other camps to say no, easy. Is given Lubindas, is in the pocket of given Lubindas, is given Lubindas, whatever. I looked at the party to say NCP was a special purpose vehicle chosen by ECL. I should remain neutral. So I decided to take a back step to say I'm not going to participate in any of this. The PF, you have started the journey to elect a leader. When you elect that leader, automatically I have a duty to give that person an adoption certificate so that he stands as presidential candidate for the special purpose vehicle. This side of Tonse, I wanted to have one Tonse. That was my goal. And I took a back step to say, let me allow a health deliberation. When you have your meetings, I don't want you to shoot down NCP in my presence. By then you would have diluted the slide that NCP has made as one of the preferred political party from the grassroots on the ground. I mean, you can't go and sit where they tell you they don't want you. It's like you understand? The best thing you can do is to give him space. So I went on a separation to say, no, let me separate myself to your deliberations. When you are done and you still choose NCP as a special purpose vehicle, I'm here. But whilst within that month, the dynamics, now the people on the social media and others and a lot of PF members were rebutting and saying, you cannot choose any other political party. But what happened on the 27th of October, I received a text message from Comrade Zumani. I still have it in my phone.
You have that message, right?
I have that message. I'll send it to you immediately I leave.
I would want us to speak with evidence, with the fact that I love having realistic conversation.
No, send your man to get it to get my phone.
Correct. I'll quickly go for a short break. Director, so that we can pick up your gadget. For the purpose of this interview, we will allow you to have your phone on set and be able to refer to all those messages so that we do not have a blank conversation. So, of course, I have in the studio Pastor Peter Chanda, the NCP president, of course, who is in the studio discussing a number of issues pertaining to governance as well as politics in
check
Zambia.
My phone.
Of course, we are also going to factor in other important issues, such as, of course, what just transpired around the constitutional amendment, bill number 7, which has been passed, and tomorrow President Hakainde Hichilema will be signing that now, or be rather appending his signature, enacting that to become law. These are the issues that we'll be discussing this evening. And also, we're looking at the political landscape in Zambia. So you can proceed as director is trying to assist you with the phone.
So that message came. It was after a month, and you're going to see after a month, we never had a conversation from the last telephone call. Now, I'm speaking this because the Zambian people don't know. They demonize me. They've demonized me as a betrayer. But I can tell you that a coup d'etat was staged using the 6 people. Luckily, they never brought their fingerprints. I gave them the letters of appointment based on the word from Zumani, believing that Zumani got instruction from the boss. But the good part, the late boss told me, don't include anyone in your leadership. Don't go to the general conference that they are calling you. I'll be able to tell you, nobody should force you. Even on the last day of the conversation, he told me, hold on to the party. Because with what has been happening, I don't know who to trust from amongst my people.
That was ECL.
That was ECL. Goodson Banda, you can bring him on set here. Or you can have a short, even breakfast interview. He will tell you, he spoke to the late boss 4 days before he died. So now, if anybody is going to challenge me, and of course, is going to challenge me and say he spoke to the boss maybe 2 days before he died, and the boss told him to say, to hell with Peter Chanda, choose another special purpose vehicle. Now, we cannot have such kind of engagement. Now, why did I took a back step? I took a back step from Tonsa Alliance to restore President Rubinda's respect. And I even went and I told him to say, look, I'm going to take a back step. In me taking a back step, I want these people to do the right thing. I don't want to be drawn this side, but I want the respect that we said we should give. Because PF has got a constitution. And the constitution of PF leaves no vacuum in leadership. In the case of demise of a leader, that is Article 54 of PF constitution, it says the vice president shall perform the functions, takes over and performs the functions of the president. So they were disputing the fact that Honorable Rubinda, not this one.
All right. Yeah, just continue.
Rubinda continues to perform the functions of being president. Now, we agreed on the rules of engagement that PF shall be the anchor party. Then now there was a dispute to say Honorable Rubinda can't be acting chairman. If I tell you, even now, President Sean Tembo doesn't refer to Honorable Rubinda as the acting chairman or the chairman. In fact, he's supposed to be referred to as the chairman of Tonsa Alliance, because the chairmanship belonged to the PF. And me, I was content and had respect for that.
Quickly, let's move. Time is not on our side. Now, my question is, regardless of what happened here, the internal wrangles, the internal conflicts you've had with your colleagues in the PF in Tonse, the bottom line is that you have betrayed ECL's legacy.
In which way? I haven't.
In fact, moved away from the Tonse.
No, let me tell you. I'm telling you, this is the reason why I want to give you.
No, you've given the reasons as to why.
Now, let me tell you.
What has led you to move out from the Tonse?
I have not finalized. The final thing is me sending you, you reading the message that came from. Or maybe let me elaborate that message.
Yes, please.
On the 27th of October, I got a text. First, I got a list of those people that are appointed, the letters. The letters from Comrade Zumani. A man whom we had not spoken from the last time, because I told him to say, look, I'm not going to be part of any deliberation or any meeting that would deliberate on a special purpose vehicle, because ECL's legacy, and we are betraying ECL's choice even before we bury him. So I'm not going to participate. So it is the Tonse Alliance coordinator acting together with others who have betrayed ECL's legacy, not me.
Right.
Because they wrote me a text message after those letters. Then he wrote a text message. Good evening, Baba. 6 top leaders of NCP will take over NCP within 24 hours if you don't come back to us to agree. If you don't come back to us and agree procedurally and peacefully.
Interesting. The other question.
Yeah. When that message came with the letters of with the names of the people that had appointed, luckily they were not at the Register of Society. He said within 24 hours. I was given 24 hours, and they wanted to do. I don't know whether you call it a Kamau Sampao or a Kachavinga. They wanted to stage a coup to a duly elected president of a political party, who was even given them the leverage. Now, I began to run this political party, even from the background, from 2003. An hour later, another message from Comrade Zumani. It has been resolved that Council Debia Ongola Kambwa shall be the acting president of NCP by resolution of these 6 people.
It will be important for you to show evidence to that so that we substantiate this conversation. For those that have just joined us, the program, this is the bigger program with me, IP. We are discussing governance and politics in Zambia, and I have a new Congress Party president, Pastor Peter Chanda, who is also now a former member of the Tonse Alliance, having a conversation around the issues happening and what could have led or necessitated his departure from the Tonse Alliance. Remember that the Tonse Alliance was one of the political parties which had been adopted according to the instructions of the former head of state, that it was going to be the purpose vehicle for the Tonse Alliance. But from how we stand today, Pastor Peter Chanda and the NCP are on their own. You can show us the message, President.
So I'm just going to the message.
Right.
Oh yeah, I want you to get it from the direct source. I want you to read yourself. So this is it, Dr. Chris Zumani's whatever. This is not a cyber thing. You've seen 27th October. You've seen the letters. So the last conversation, if you check, this last conversation after this, I began to call him. He said, text, I mean, the whatever, call, and all those things. This was on the 26th of September, the one I told you.
Right.
This was now 27, a month later. On this particular, on the 26th, we talked about the agenda item of them choosing a special purpose vehicle.
Right.
They wanted FDD, there was Zambia Must Prosper, there was PEP, and NCP. And that's the information that I got, but they never stated on the whatever, and they circulated that circular on the Council of Leaders. Now, have you seen this? He first sent me, this was around 1744. He first sent me a letter. Bernard Chomba was earmarked to be Treasurer General. Of course, I revoked the appointment the same night.
Right.
when these came. This is Mr. David Shamlenge. You've seen these are the letters of appointment that I appointed them. And when I appointed them, because he came to me say, the boss, meaning ECL, has recommended that you appoint these people. Now, after sending all these, then he read this text message.
So the message saying, and I quote, "Good afternoon, Baba. Please take note that the top 6 office bearers of NCP will be taking over NCP within 24 hours. If you don't come back to us and resolve this professionally and procedurally, they will engage me and I'll ask to contact you."
So read the last one.
So the last one again, and I quote once again.
Look, even state the time.
That was around 1838. From the latest communication with these top NCP leaders, I hear Council Debbie Kambwe Angola shall be acting president of NCP by resolution within 24 hours. End of quote.
So the question is, you have agreed to work with people and they want to take away and take you out of that position. What more if they form government? This message was dictatorial. Number one, I was elected on the 9th. You were there at the general conference at Government Complex. I was still serving my mandate. But he wanted to take over. The following day after this, I revoked all these the appointment for all these, using the constitutional powers that I have. All the appointments of these people, I revoked them immediately, sent my Secretary General to the Registrar of Society and said, no one, if anybody dares to come, they are not among the list of office bearers. Then I went further to call Honorable Given Lubinda. I called Honorable Given Lubinda to complain to him as the leader that I respect. Because before I took a back step, we agreed. Even he told me to say, look, let these people that are disrespecting me know that if they are relying on NCP as a special purpose vehicle, you understand, and they want to, let them know that you can make a decision to pull out of Tonse and we can move. You understand? Honorable Rubinda told me that before I made that press conference where I said, I'm taking a back step to allow a healthy deliberation so that PF can go on to do its general conference, elect a leader who will peacefully come and be the presidential candidate. Honorable Rafa Nakachinda, I informed him, I followed him. By the time I was calling him, I was going to his office in town, but I met him in the Cairo Road. He stopped by. While I was talking to him on the phone to say, I'm having a press conference so that these people that are disrespecting, because I moved out of Tonse Alliance because of my respect for ECL. And because ECL was being disrespected, I took a back step from Tonse Alliance because of my respect to Given Lubinda, who was appointed by ECL before he died. Now he's been disrespected. Should I sit and watch? That is against my principles. That is against my ethics. Now, when I called Honorable Lubinda to complain to him, the first thing he said, where are you? I thought you were supposed to be brought before me. That is what pained me. That was the betrayal at its highest order.
From
Honorable Lubinda. He said, I thought you were supposed to be brought before me. I said, by who? I'm calling you to complain because I received threats. But I've already taken action against those threats. Said, you are supposed, anyway, there's nothing that I can do. If you don't come within 24 hours, there's nothing that I can do. They will do whatever they can. And the idea was to go to the Registrar of Society, change to say he's no longer president, and all those are some of the plans. I sent my vice president to the same meeting within that 24 hours, who went to meet Comrade Zuman and Comrade Angola. It gives me a sad reading for me to state this because, number one, I'm being attacked left, right, center. There are people sponsoring people to talk about me insulting ECL in his death when I stand with him, when all our campaign materials, they bear ECL's portrait because I'm still mourning him. I want to state one thing.
As we move away from here.
As we move away from this topic now. I've elaborated, I never moved out of Tonse Alliance because somebody paid me, all the social media crap that is coming out. You understand? I moved out of Tonse Alliance because my position and the party that we have suffered for from 2003 was being threatened to be taken over by Comrade Zumani so that it can be used by Honorable Winda himself.
President Peter Chanda, I'll ask you this question. I understand your frustration. The Zambian people, the viewers watching the program, they have followed your conversation and your lamentations, your justifications. It is up to them to judge. So it is because of what you've highlighted, because of your these lamentations you've given this evening, which led you to finally just jump out. I don't care whatever we agreed upon with ECL. You had vowed, you had made a decision that you are going to stick with the PF's legacy, the ECL's legacy. So because I've been humiliated for too long, I have to go out. You have to take a risk. You have to bite the bullet to betray ECL's legacy by jumping out of Tonse.
Now, let me tell you, you are very wrong, my brother. So, when somebody is coming and he wants to take away your wife, so you let your wife be sacrificed, or he wants to take away your child, the only child that you have in your hand.
Question.
I'm giving you an example. You are going to sit back to say, okay, slaughter me. Let me tell you. Let me tell you now. Listen to this. There is no betrayal. I want you to subtract that word.
Okay.
There is no betrayal of ECL's legacy. They betrayed ECL's legacy the moment they began to talk about choosing another special purpose vehicle when ECL is not yet buried. And even lying to say ECL said we should change the special purpose vehicle.
So the word you do not want to hear is a betrayal.
I have not betrayed ECL's legacy. They have betrayed ECL's legacy.
Right.
They could have respected ECL's legacy by ensuring that they don't bring up the subject of talking about a special purpose vehicle because there was no mischief. Unless if I didn't work on things that ECL directed that this thing should be worked on. Everything that ECL told me to work on the party, I worked on. When they came to me and brought this thing, now, the members of NCP themselves, when they got this, NCP has got 37, you are there, 37 duly elected National Executive Committee members. When I broke the news to all the National Executive Committee members, they said, look, they can't take over our party just like that. Meaning, if we allow them to use NCP, they are going to use NCP, win the election, and throw us away. Because if they can say somebody is taking over your party, first and foremost, here, there was a collateral damage. Oh, there was a breaking of the agreement, verbal agreement.
Right.
I hear they've entered into they've chosen FDD, but FDD has made them to sign agreements. You understand? For me, because I believed in ECL, so there was nowhere to sign, there was nowhere whatever. But now, if somebody wants to take away what is in your hands,
right? Let's talk about.
So Tonse,
yeah.
The best phrase that you should use, and please don't repeat the word betrayal because I've not betrayed them. You have seen the messages for yourself.
Right.
You wanted evidence, evidence is there.
Right.
Nobody can take me to court. My vice president is a witness because he went to Eagle's event to comply to the 24 hours that they said.
I hear you.
I was out of the country when they were plotting all this. I sent my vice president there. And my vice president confirmed to say, I've met them. They've insisted on these threats. They want you to. Now, you don't force somebody. I didn't move out of Tonse completely. I told them I've taken a back step. Do your health deliberation. Was this a health deliberation?
I get you. I hear you.
So for me, withdraw that statement about betrayal.
You've already cleared it. So it's not me to withdraw it. You've cleared it already. There's no need of me withdrawing it. You've already denied. Let's come back to, let me get your take about the recently, constitutional making process, which of course was subjected to a vote, second up to the third reading and subsequently tomorrow there is an announcement that the president will be actually sending into law that bill. What has been your position over that matter? Again, there's been a lot of issues that you and your MP, Mr. Banda, actually, people have said Peter Chanda is a man who doesn't seem to appreciate. He ran a political party which was more like nothing, a shell of its own, for lack of better words. The PF comes in to help him, pumps in money to help him in the campaigns, and today he's got a member of parliament. Eventually he goes and, again, I'll use the word betrayal. You and your member of parliament, you've betrayed the people of Zambia by voting, or rather supporting Bill 7. How true is that?
First and foremost, the Zambian people have to be very conversant with getting the context.
Right.
The context of one's submission. NCP was called to parliament by virtue of the fact that we have a member of parliament to make a submission, which is even in the public domain. So I will not belabor so much, because our introductory remark stood with what the Constitutional Court stated. The mischief about Bill 7 was the process. The only thing that crucifies NCP now here, even if we talk about it, that crucifies NCP is for us having submitted our objection to the contents as to why we wanted Bill 10 to be withdrawn, Bill 7 to be withdrawn. We ended with a summary, and that is in public domain, where we said we still feel this bill should be withdrawn. Because first and foremost, we are talking about the mixed member proportional representation. So the only sin that I've committed here is by describing the purpose to say, look, we don't have references of a mixed member proportional representation somewhere. And the Zambian people need to be educated. And when you look at that submission, we objected to say, look, we object this issue of mixed member proportional representation. We want to state to say, if this constitution, if this bill goes through, then let's look at a complete proportional representation. That's the only mistake I made. No, but let me state one thing. We have 30 PF members of parliament. Why are you accusing Peter Chanda when you are not accused the leaders that have caused their MPs, 30 of them, to rebel and go the other way? We shall deal with our MP internally. I've already instructed the Secretary General, because the only thing you can do is take certain measures. You understand?
And the question will be, where were you to allow your member of parliament to
Let me tell you can't control Muntu Mukaramba. My members of parliament, they are there. Let me tell you now. Let me tell you.
The managed to control its members when they were in the opposition.
So
how possible are you one of the weakest leaders that you can fail to manage one man called Banda?
Now let me tell you. There is what they call peer pressure that a person goes through. A member of parliament was new. It is his first time to be a member of parliament. You understand? Certain things, first and foremost,
so it goes back
you need to understand. No, it can't go back. Now let me state this.
You might not have guided
when he was being appointed to be on the select committee, I just saw it on the news. Oh, he's been appointed to be on the select committee. The speaker doesn't need to ask me. When members of parliament go into the house, they are under the speaker. When the speaker selects them,
you don't need to lecture the people of Zambia. That we are aware. But the question is, members of parliament, they have got to where they come from, where they belong to.
Now let me tell you.
And I believe that you do discuss from time to time. You have meetings. They actually even subscribe, perhaps paying some forms of fees to their political parties for growth.
Now I will be able to tell you something. When Banda went into parliament, from the time he entered into parliament in February, he never subscribed to NCP until the time that we pulled out from Tonse. He was subscribing to the PF team. Those monthly contribution until the time when we pulled out of Tonse. So I have had no control on Simon Banda. But now what I can be able to state is this, look. Now the question is, let's look forward. Our goal, and this is the more reason why you have seen, we have exercised our democratic rights to participate to the national discourse. If we dwell on this matter is already done and dusted.
Do you regret that your member of parliament voted for Bill 7?
Very much.
You regret?
Very much. Very much. Because let me tell you,
do you intend to take action?
I have already stated that the decisive actions have already been done.
What have you done to him?
What we have done is that I've instructed Secretary General. He will be writing him a letter so that he comes and exculpate himself before a disciplinary committee. So, and after that, we cannot talk about expelling him now. We can't expel him unless we are not conversant with the fact that we are going to the general election very soon. So, let's be realistic. So, the fact is that the party internally, you understand, has taken measures. And to the Zambian people, I want to assure you that we've taken measures. But what we can say for now is that we are determined to ensure, let me tell you, the members of parliament can be both. The focus for now is not to cry over Bill 7. The focus for now is to look at the general election, because if the members of parliament, there are just a few of them. You understand? There are just a few of them, but the same cannot be done to the masses who are supposed to vote. So for us, as political parties, we are stuck with the bill that has passed. This is unfortunate. That's what we need to know. But for now, let's look at what are we supposed to do as political party. For us as NCP, the rebirth to this is for us to go on, mobilize, and tell the Zambian people how we desire to create a better change, how we desire to address several things. We will go and tell the Zambian people why we believe that Zambia's political system need to change, not from this mixed member proportional representation, because we have presented our argument. We have presented our argument as to why we want to make sure that we see to it that even somebody that is appointed as the secretary to the cabinet, these are the two strong points that the only mistake that I made was to elaborate on the reason why Bill 7 should be withdrawn. And I stated the reason why Bill 7 should be withdrawn is on this fact. We do not have a case study on mixed member proportional representation. But we have a case study on complete proportional representation, which is a South African case. So rather than people focusing on the sentiment that I made, they are focusing on the negative of saying we have done this. We stated in our preamble, we stand with the Constitutional Court judgment. We believe the Bill 7 needed a stronger, a broader participation. We stand with what the church stood for. You understand? We closed our remark and said, for this reason, because the Zambian people must be given an explanation on how this mixed member proportional representation will work. The Zambian people must be given the reason on which constituencies will be delimited. The report of delimitation just came out today, which is not right. But I want to state that today we cannot cry over what has fallen. That's why I said amenshinga na etika nishina etika tetu yatole nga wayatola waranwa matika. For now, what we have to do as Zambian people is now to galvanize the masses for 2026. We are going to go into an election with a mixed member proportional representation arrangement. We have a duty to work hard. If we continue bickering and talking about the bill that will be assented, then we'll miss the point again. But for now, our focus as New Congress Party is that it's a painful thing. It's something that we can be able to say which the Zambian people didn't want. But the issue here, we have an election coming. The 50+1 issue has not been tampered with. You understand? We still have the 50+1 threshold. The assumptions of saying there will be an increase of the term of office. On the nomination, this is where people were thinking to say, okay, the president will be nominating all those people. It is just 10 that will be nominated, which does not give a leverage. Proportional representation, mixed member proportional representation, they are saying those will be shared by political parties depending on the number of votes, that percentages of votes that they've gotten in each and every in the general election. So my take is simple. We have this thing that we didn't want, and now we have a duty to live with it. What do we do going forward? Are we going to keep crying? Are we going to keep pointing fingers? Let me tell you, members of parliament have shot themselves on the foot, because they have no privilege of, if they are not adopted in their political party, to jump to another political party or to stand as independent. That has shot them in the foot. It's just like the 2016. That's the reason why we are even this constitution amendment issue. The 2016 constitution that was assented by President ECL shot the members of parliament on the foot. Some of them have not recovered. Some of them have never come back to the political scene, because now it defranchises the people that have grown up with natural wisdom to participate. Now we have a situation where they didn't know about the gravity of the Grade 12E thing. You understand? Which has created the separation. That's why today we have councillors who can easily be bought, because alada watale for a 6 pin kuli bu councillor. But I saw mwe kutitwa kupera bu teacher. Bu teacher, you have a pension, he has a bigger salary than what a councillor is getting. You understand? What will a councillor who is just a grade 12? Today we have substandard people who are vying for councillor. They are failing to perform their duties, because in the past the duty of councillors, or the positions of councillor, was going to people that have served, they've retired, and now they are giving back to the community. But whilst they are in retirement, you understand, they are able to contribute effectively. So my take is simple. Let's have a positive political discourse and engagement. We have talked and we have cried. Many organizations talked about Bill 7. And alas, in politics and in democracy, the worst scenario always sometimes happen. You are expecting the good, but the bad comes. That is democracy. So the issue now is, let's focus on
next year's election.
Next year's election.
You've mentioned that you are taking action against your member of parliament, Honorable Banda, administratively, as it were. Beyond the whatever action you're going to take against him, how do you plan to utilize the money he was given in order for him to vote for Bill 7? How do you intend to utilize the money?
First and foremost,
as a member of parliament, as it is being said.
First and foremost, do you have evidence that he was given?
And that's why you are here, to answer that question.
How do I answer when I don't know? You ask to say, how do you plan to utilize the money? As if you have seen that money, you have evidence of a bank transfer and also produce. Remember here we said, so we cannot talk about that because there is no evidence of that he has been given.
So what is the answer here? My question
is, the answer is,
how do you intend to utilize the money
I have tried to,
as it is being said.
You know, from the time that I've been trying to call him, from the time that the voting was done, we have not communicated. But what I can tell you is that is a misplaced answer, Naimwe. Let's be serious. Let's be honest. I'm not part of the people that voted. I'm not a member of parliament. How do I plan on what I don't know? How? You want me to plan?
No, I'm talking about the party.
No. The party has nothing. I've told you. I've told you. Go to Parliament and check the records if the Honorable Banda remits money direct to NCP account. Come and tell me here. Go there and investigate. That's the first thing that you need to do.
So how correct or how false is the information that those who might have voted for Bill 7, they were given a huge amount of money?
Well, you have to invite.
And you are a member of parliament. I mean, you are a leader who is hosting or presiding over a member of parliament.
No. The issue is, let me tell you, you have set the rules of engagement here. The rules of engagement here is the evidence.
Right.
Produce the evidence that they've been paid, apart from the rumors.
Have they?
What I'm saying, produce.
As your member of parliament, was he paid?
What I'm saying is that produce the evidence that he has been paid.
It's a question.
No, for me, call the member of parliament himself or any other person to state to say, okay, payment was done by this one to this one on this particular day. The evidence is this.
But from where you stand?
From where I stand, I've stayed from the time that they did the voting. I've been trying to call him. He's not picked up my call.
Right.
So for me, it is now the Secretary General that will be able to write a letter to him. Then he comes to the office. Then from there, we can be able now to elaborate. But measures, I can say, like I've stated, I've taken measures and I've given instructions. The National Executive Committee will sit to deliberate. The Chairman Disciplinary Committee will preside over that, together with the National Chairman, Mr. Joseph Zuze Sambambi, and the nation will be alerted on the cause of action. But I want to state that we are not going to be careless in expelling the member of parliament, because we have no time for that. We don't want to cause another by-election unnecessarily. The issue now I've stated to say, this thing has befallen Chawakwat Chiriro, Chidonga Chachitika. The next thing is healing.
Do you see the possibility of returning the Petauke seat come next year, 2020?
We are going to win several seats in the country. New Congress Party is a youth political party.
I'm talking about the Petauke seat.
We will return the Petauke seat, and I want to assure you that we are not going to dwell on the negative. We are going to dwell on the positive side of providing the best alternative government to the Zambian people. So my take is simple. We have a duty to chart the way forward for the country. Just like I've stated, many people accused me to say, no, he's been bought, that's why he's moved out of Tonsa. I've given the evidence to the country. I never wanted to disclose this. It is sad that I'm able to disclose this because it has been too much. You understand? I didn't want to disclose because I still respect them. But for now, I've seen numerous attacks where you can be able to see that the pages that are bringing accusations and attacks and labeling me as a betrayer, you understand? I want to state that ECL's legacy was betrayed on the 26th of September, where they made a resolution to say they want to choose another special purpose vehicle.
But so adventure, you are given the chance to next year at the general election you've registered your disappointment over your member of parliament. You've made an announcement that you are planning to take some action decisions against him, Mr. Banda. If you are given the chance to, give or adopt him to rerun for his seat, would you re-adopt him? Going by what we have said?
For now, we are focusing on the report that will be given to me by the disciplinary committee that will sit with him.
Right.
So I will not jump into
the future. Right.
As to whether he still wants it to be his democratic right to choose to stand on the NCP ticket or stand on any other political party ticket. So when you are going to the general election, you expect to lose some members, you expect to win some members. That's the way it is. Our focus now is
your political party, for a long period of time, if not from inception, it has not been participating in these by-elections as well as general elections. All of a sudden, you've gone independent, you are able to convene, be it a convention, and you are all over making headlines. Where have you gotten the money to sustain the political party? You've mentioned that it's not easy to run a political party.
Oh, let me state one thing. There is a moment of growth that comes with time. You understand? There's a moment of growth. Now, NCP is a political party that has got the blessing of ECL, the only political party that has got the blessing of ECL on it. And there are several people that believed in ECL who believe in NCP. There are several people that look at my sincerity and humility, and they appreciate. A political party is not run by one person. A political party is not run by the president and his own money, but it is on the goodwill of the people that believe in your vision. So there are people in this period of time that have come to believe in NCP. And I want to state that I will not mention the people that are supporting NCP, but I want to state that NCP is enjoying the goodwill of the people in that we have demonstrated humility, where I'm able to give in to say, okay, you can come and you can stand as president in my political party. So the issue that I can be able to state is that, look, I'm not a self-centered person. I'm not a person that believes in bulldozing my way, but I believe with time, NCP has become a trusted entity and a hope to the Zambian people. And I'll provide that leadership because in my discourse, I'm sincere. If I'm laughing with you, IP, and you see my teeth, it is out of sincerity. When you cross my path, I'll tell you to say, Appa, you are wrong. Appa, no, I was not happy with what you did. I will tell you frankly, I'm not one person that will open my mouth to give you a smile, which is a fake smile. I'm not hypocritical in the way I relate with people. I'm sincere. And the leadership that I'll be able to provide to this country is that of utmost sincerity. My take is very simple. Consistently, we have stood respecting ECL. Remember what I said, that as long as ECL is on the ballot, I will not be on the ballot. But now that ECL is not on the ballot, and the fact that the man that I trusted and believed in wanted to take over my party, to take away what I have, to take away the only thing that I have in my hands, that is something that I can tell you pained me a lot. But I want to say to the Zambian people that today I've said what I never wanted to say. I know fellow opposition political leaders are busy sponsoring people to attack me, to talk about me, disrespecting me, insulting ECL. I respect ECL. I respect the family of ECL.
Are you a caretaker president for the NCP? Is there anyone who might come and take over your party along the way, especially from the PF grouping? Because that's what is also being, talked about, that there are some big wigs within the PF among the presidential candidates in the PF who have funded you. I've told you, hold on, in case of anything in the PF, we just jump and take over the NCP. How true is that?
I was elected as president.
You can be elected as a president,
but what I'm saying,
you can also nominate someone
yes,
as a presidential candidate.
But what I'm saying is this: I'm not a caretaker president. I was elected as president. So you are now insulting my personality.
No, my question is,
the issue is,
will you,
when you are running a political party,
yes,
and when you are going to the general elections, there are political alliances that come along.
right?
And in my statement, even when we backed out, I said we shall be ready to collaborate with people that believe in building and consolidating on ECL's legacy. So collaboration, we are open for a possible collaboration, but that must be out of mutual respect. And for me to sit here and begin to disclose as to how I will collaborate with somebody, then I'm jumping the gun. But I want to state one thing. What I've declared to the Zambian people is that I'm the presidential candidate for the 2026 general election. I'm the presidential candidate for the 2026 general election. I can only, you understand, bow down to the wishes of the Zambian people. If the masses raise up and say, Chanda, please, 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 to perenu, you to perenu. Now, the Zambian people should be able to speak, not an individual coming to me to tell me. But I want to stay to say, for now, I'm facing the ballot come 2026.
Right. Interesting. President Peter Chanda, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you and wish you all the best.
All the best. And to the viewers, thank you very much for listening to me. And I want to stay to say, I stand to respect the wishes of the Zambian people, and come 2026, NCP is ready to provide leadership and provide a stable government that will end the pain and suffering of high cost load shedding and make sure that we create a better change for the Zambian people.
Thank you so much.